Uber manipulating the market in 2018? What up YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. Let's talk about Uber. Are they manipulating the market? First off, let's not forget that Uber is a technology company. Therefore, Uber deals a lot with data. About 3 or 4 years ago when I first started driving for Uber, passengers would just request an Uber driver. And when passengers requested an Uber driver would receive a request on their phone. They would accept the request, they would drive over and pick the customer up, and when they picked the customer up and when the customer got in the backseat of the car, the driver would start the trip. When the driver would start the trip, this is when the customer would tell the driver where they would like to go. Nowadays, it's nothing like that because the customer puts in all that data before they even request the Uber. So this way, Uber already knows where the customer wants to go. Uber also has a lot of data on the drivers. Uber has past data on the drivers. Uber has a pretty good idea of the drivers who are going to work full-time. Uber knows this info based on previous data in the past. If you have worked 4 weeks in a row, and this is the 5th week, and you've worked full-time those 4 weeks, Uber is probably predicting that you're gonna work full-time the 5th week. So Uber can make a lot of predictions. Also at the same time, Uber sends out a lot of bonuses and incentives to Uber drivers. Now Uber does not send out the same bonuses and they do not send out the same incentives to all Uber drivers. Different markets receive different bonuses and incentives. Also within the same market, different drivers can receive different bonuses and different incentives. For example, if you have a newer car, in a lot of markets, you will receive more requests versus someone who has an older car. That's just the name of the game. That's just how it goes with Uber. Uber likes to give newer cars more requests, and older cars, they don't like to give bonuses and incentives as much. I've had so many Uber drivers email me and message me saying that I've watched your videos online and I see that you get all these bonuses and I never get any of these bonuses that you receive. And a lot of times I'll just ask Uber drivers, what year is your car? And as soon as they tell me the year, not the make, not the model, but just the year, I can just tell them right off the bat, like certain cars don't qualify for certain bonuses and incentives. And this is kind of a bummer. I kind of see where Uber is going with this. They're trying to give the newer cars more attention so that way the passengers are used to the newer cars more on the platform, something like that. But however, some people can say that's market manipulation, because what if there is a customer in one neighborhood and there is a older car in that same neighborhood and the customer needs a ride, and now this customer pulls out their phone and requests an Uber, and there's an Uber car like super close, but instead it's gonna go to this newer Uber car that's maybe 2-3 miles away, and there's another Uber car that's like 30 seconds away from the customer, and now the customer waits another 5 minutes so this brand new Toyota Prius and come scoop them up, and they're only just going right down the street anyway, no big deal. The driver actually had to drive even farther to pick the customer up than the driver was taking the customer. Could this be market manipulation? I didn't make this video to call out Uber to say that they are committing market manipulation, but I'm just calling out some of the things that I've noticed. Maybe this could be borderline market manipulation, or maybe this could be just how this new Uber market is, and maybe there is no market manipulation with Uber because Uber is the market. Now for you Uber drivers that do receive bonuses and incentives, what is this video about again? Uber and market manipulation? Oh, yeah, the bonuses and incentives. There has been plenty of times in my Uber career where I have been out driving and I'm out trying to get the weekly bonus. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the weekly bonus, nowadays they've broken it up. It used to be, you complete 120 rides in a week. But I guess they figured out that, drivers were gaming the system because drivers would just work from Monday through Thursday and they could complete 120 rides from Monday to Thursday. So Uber changed that whole deal. They changed it because they used to give out $500 bonus if you complete 120 rides in a week, and a $500 bonus on top of that is not bad, especially if you can knock that out by Thursday. I don't know how some of the drivers in the Bay Area were doing this, but they were literally knocking out 120 rides a week by Thursday. And then Uber sort of changed the system. They changed the game. They made it, I don't want to say they made it difficult, but they just changed it. So nowadays the bonuses are like, you know, do 30 trips from Monday through Thursday and we'll give you a $50 bonus. And if you're able to do 40 trips, we'll give you a $120 bonus. Like, it doesn't add up to the $500 for 120 trips like it used to be. So they change it. And then on the weekends, it's Friday through Sunday. 3 days, 30 trips. It can be done, but if you sort of have to hit the ground running. Like, soon as you get that email, if it says start at 4 a.m. on Friday, you need to be doing the first trip 4 a.m. on Friday, and you should never ever wait to the last minute. Like, and what I mean by last minute, I'm not talking about 10 hours before the last minute. Like, there's been so many times where I need to do 2 more trips. I need to do 2 more trips, and I have 3 hours to do 2 more trips. For some magical reason, I'm not receiving any requests. I'm not receiving any requests. 30 minutes go by and I'm receiving no requests. And I'm thinking to myself, this is weird. All of a sudden, I need to do 2 more trips, and I got 2 hours, 3 hours to do 2 more trips, and I'm getting no requests. I'm getting no requests. This has happened to me so many times, and I've heard of so many other drivers, so many other Uber drivers that tell me the same thing. I need to do 20 trips before Thursday, and I have 5 trips left. It is 3 p.m. on Sunday. I need to do 5 more trips. 5 more trips. And it takes you 8 hours to do 5 trips. Like, literally, it takes you 8 hours because you're not receiving any requests. Or you receive a request, and when you go pick up the customer, they want to go really far away, meaning that it's going to take you a whole lot longer to get back to the city to get that other request. Because a lot of times with the bonuses and incentives, at least in the Bay Area, the emails I receive, the trips have to start in San Francisco. So if I accept a request and it's leaving San Francisco going all the way down to San Jose, great. I just did 1 really long ride. I'm going to make money from that 1 long ride. But now I need to figure out how to get all the way back here so I can do 1 more trip. And how nerve-wracking could that be? Like, you got to do 2 more trips. Someone sends you super far away. So you drive an hour away. You drop them off, and then you drive an hour back, and you're still gonna do 1 more trip so you can get this extra bonus. And that bonus could be $20, it could be $40, it could be $120. But I remember back in the day, I was on the hook, and the bonus would be $500. So I'm saying to myself, dude, I need to do 5 more trips. I need to do 3 more trips. And if I don't get these 3 more trips or these 5 more trips, I'm not going to get this $500 bonus. And if I don't get this $500 bonus, that means I'm only going to make $1,000 this week instead of $1,500 this week. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. But sometimes for those 3 more trips, you're working 5 more hours. And is that market manipulation? I mean, like I say, I didn't make this video to call out Uber, but it seems like market manipulation. They already know so much data. They already know this driver XYZ needs 2 more trips, and he has been driving 5 hours and he's only taken 2 trips and he needs 2 more trips. So is the whole system going to keep this driver XYZ out driving another 5 more hours just to, you know, just for those 2 more trips? And if this XYZ driver gets the 2 more trips, like, is it even worth it? Is it going to be a $100 bonus? Is it going to be a $200? I mean, is it market manipulation? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out myself. So when you really think of the taxi business and Uber, you almost can't compare the two, because the taxi business, they had no idea where people were going. They had no idea when people were leaving. Well, they had an idea when people were leaving, but nowhere near what the data that Uber has. And also, like, the whole taxi business never have bonuses and incentives and ratings and all these things that tie together for completes an Uber driver. You know, the ratings and the pickup and the drop off and the surge pricing. Remember when you would take a taxi and it would just be $2 a mile, $3 a mile? With Uber, if I'm gonna take an Uber tomorrow, I have no idea how much it's gonna cost. I can give you a ballpark figure, but I don't know if it's gonna be 1x or 2x or 3x. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea. With a taxi 10 years ago, I know for sure it would cost $50 to get from here to the airport. You know? But with Uber, it's all about the timing. You know? It's all about the timing. I remember once I was driving for Uber, and this was a marathon, like a race, a 5-mile run. This was at 5 a.m. So people had to show up to this race at 5 a.m. 4:30 in the morning, it was 5x on Uber. So I remember going online, and as soon as I went online, I got a request. Bam, just like that. Who was it? It was someone that was going to the race, right? I was so stoked. I'm like, great. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna take you to the race. Ooh, perfect. I'm gonna drive maybe 2 miles away, and I'll be back in that 5x surge, and I'll probably get another request. Someone who wants to go down to the race. I was so stoked because I knew for sure that was gonna work out. And when I left from dropping the first person off, and I drove all the way on the other side of the city, the 2 miles, because San Francisco is really small, guess who I picked up? Someone who is not going to the race. This lady is walking out of the house with a suitcase, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, she's going to the airport on 5x. I'm gonna make bread. Me as a driver, I was thinking, I'm gonna make bank, I'm gonna make bank. But what about me as a passenger? I mean, I would not want to wake up and have to go to the airport and have to pay 5x for a ride. Like, I don't want to have to do that as a customer. I know a lot of you guys know me as an Uber driver, but I take Uber as a customer, and I don't want to pay that amount. Yet drivers don't mind making that amount. So is it market manipulation? I'm not going to answer that question, but it definitely doesn't feel all organic, and it doesn't feel like it was just meant to be. It feels like that there is like some, like a higher power or something, like pulling strings, and oh, you can go and you can get this, and oh, I'm gonna take this away, and you're going to the airport. You're going to San Jose. You'll be back in 2 hours. So I don't know. It kind of feels like that. Sometimes there's there's a thing above like me when I'm driving for Uber, and it just says yes, or it says no, and it's sort of out of my control. It's out of my hand. But that's yeah, I don't know. Is Uber manipulating the market? I'm very curious to know what you guys got to say. I'm very curious to know what other Uber drivers all around the US has to say, because I'm an Uber driver in the Bay. Things are one way in the Bay, but other parts of the US, other markets, things are completely different, and I'm just very curious to hear what's on y'all's mind. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching this video. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're new to my channel, hit that like button. Also, if you are an older subscriber, give me a thumbs up, yo. I finally got it right. 3 times that charm. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace out, yo.